One of the staples I use when I'm out here camping is a cast iron skillet, and I got Sean hooked on it last time. I think was it in Prescott?
Yeah.
I made potatoes and stuff.
Potatoes.
Just like cooked everything, and so Sean got this Lodge. It's more kind of like a skillet pot thing, and he's been using it, but recently he said it's been getting like sticky, and so I'm gonna revive it for him, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So I noticed like one of the big mistakes people usually make with cast irons, they either make one of two mistakes. They either never wash it, and I don't know where that idea came from, that you're not supposed to wash a cast iron, but that is false. So then you get like this greasy mess. And this, the only time this works is if you like only ever fry your stuff in the pan. But if you do this and you end up like trying to cook eggs in there, it's gonna get all sticky, and then your stuff is just gonna stick in the pan. It's just not a good concept. The other big mistake I see sometimes is that people will wash the pot and then they don't reseason it. They don't recoat it or anything. They just wash it, they let it sit in water, they let it sit in a sink for a long time, and then they have the opposite problem where it doesn't get seasoned, it doesn't get greased, and then you just have a very dried out cast iron and everything sticks to it. It's the opposite, but it also doesn't work very well. But don't worry, I am the professional of cast irons, and I'm going to show you guys the right way to use it, because it's honestly like the best pot you could possibly take on you for a camping trip. It's sturdy, you don't have to worry about it getting scratched up, you can kind of toss it anywhere, and they're practically bulletproof. That'd be fun, shooting a cast iron, see if the bullet goes through it. I'll do it one day.
Wasting my ammo.
I'll do it with Bob Turner. So, I don't know where my mom heard this, but there's this big idea that you're not supposed to use soap in cast iron. That is not true. I don't know if it's better or anything, but I usually use Dawn because I know it's good for grease. Put a little bit of that in there. You don't need a lot of soap, but I guess that's a lot of soap. I use a lot of soap. There's so much grease in this pan right now. I'm using Dawn, and then I also just heated up some water. Is that a word? Heated up? Heated some water up, and then just scrub that out like crazy.
Wormeted some water up.
Wormeted some water up. I'm gonna like burn myself on this. Usually after I end up doing using like this bristle brush, I'll use a Scotch-Brite pad. This one's kind of worn out, but it helps get in there a little bit better. And since Sean's sitting right over here, if you're cleaning out your pan and you can smell all the seasonings and the oils that you used in it, it probably needed cleaned.
Can you smell it?
Yeah, I can smell that. It smells like seasoning. It smells like a home-cooked meal in here.
What did I eat last week?
Something meaty. I try to scrub it until the water is not murky. An important step I see overlooked very often after you're done washing the cast iron, you need to dry it out like all the way, because it's very porish, and if you don't, it gets into the pores, and then you just have another issue. They're not high maintenance, but they're definitely not something you can just toss around. I realized 30 seconds ago I said you could just toss them around. Okay, so you can toss them around, but you also need to still clean them and dry them off. Okay, so you should really only have to do this occasionally, but if you want your cast iron to be non-stick and you had it like all full of grease, or you've been like neglecting drying it out and just letting it sit in water and all this other stuff, what you need to do is you need to coat it with a little bit of oil. Whatever you have works. I've heard vegetable oil is not the best. I'm just gonna use Pam. I've heard other people use it. I guess it works okay. I usually use just a spray. You just lightly spray it. You don't want to cover it in oil like you're gonna cook with it. You want to just kind of like dry out the pan afterward with that oil sitting in there. And then you need to rub it until there's no more black tarry stuff coming off on your napkin. Just wipe it out with a coat of oil until you're good. After that, you know it's clean, and from there it should be ready to cook. When I start cooking with it again after this process, I usually do coat it with a little bit of oil just to kind of let it set in, and also once you heat up the pan, it also lets that oil set into the pores. And after that, you should be done. So we're at the step now where we can start cooking with it. So we're gonna make tacos.
Tacos.
Tacos. And then this is a sacrilegious pan.
Yeah, so tortilla pan. If you don't like the pan, you don't,
Stupid
you don't have to throw it.